Many of us are counting down to January 20th because it marks President Trump's triumphant return to the White House. But I'm also counting down because it's the day that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler will finally meet the American people's demands and resign.
So if you hold XRP, the BS is done. Trump just named a new crypto champion, Paul Atkins, as the next SEC chair. And in this video, the information I have to share with you is going to completely change the game. So it begins. We have the Fed chair Jerome Powell saying Bitcoin is a competitor to gold, not the US dollar. South Korea declaring martial law after political strife and now pledging unlimited liquidity to support the markets. And what does this statement have to do with Tether, USDT disconnect, Bitcoin price plunging, XRP trading volume exploding, Ripple addressing speculations about the stablecoin launch and when it is actually supposed to launch, and how that will affect the XRP, the US dollar price chart in the short term, the mid-term, the long term, where we are for the total altcoin market cap excluding Bitcoin compared to the past. I'm going to break down what's happening on the Bitcoin price chart for you guys. We're looking at the MACD, the relative strength index, the stochastic RSI on the daily chart, and some top altcoin picks and sectors of crypto that are primed to explode the rest of this bull run. If you missed out on HBAR rallying over 100%, XRP rallying upwards of $2, experienced a little pullback in the short term. If you want to see what opportunities we're the most bullish on this entire bull run, then hang tight toward the end of this video. You guys are going to absolutely love this. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree. Confirm it by smashing the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So while I'm making this video, Bitcoin's sitting at $98,000. A little bit earlier today, it was at $99,000, ready to breach $100,000. So the first thing that we need to pull up is the Bitcoin to the US dollar price chart. And let's look at the MACD first and what could be happening for Bitcoin as we go into Christmas time. Because if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, all the way back to December of 2020, this is when Bitcoin started to break out from $17,000 and it broke this descending resistance that it got rejected from the 30th of November. Very similar to what we're going through right now. You saw Bitcoin rallied up to, almost $100,000 right here on the 22nd of November. It saw a sell-off all the way down to 91,000. Kind of like what happened over here on the left-hand side of the screen. Bitcoin rallies all the way up here, $19,000, sees a sell-off down to $16,000, gets rejected off of this ascending support, forms a new high, consolidates for a bit back down to this ascending support, and then absolutely explodes off of that going into December. And then we saw this consolidation upwards of, $20,000 for a bit. And then Bitcoin just continued to the upside for that peak by the 8th of January. So a lot of people want to know, is there still some juice left in the tank leading into Inauguration Day? And then we have some clips to play with you guys that are really important. You need to hear these clips by the end of this video, so hang tight. But looking at the MACD, back in the past, what we saw happen here, we saw a bearish cross take place right here on the 25th of November after Bitcoin formed that first peak upwards of 19,000 some odd dollars and saw this sell off back down to the ascending support. Now on the right hand side of the screen, we saw something very similar happen here where we formed a bearish cross on the 25th of November right here where the MACD line in blue crosses below the signal line in orange above the zero line. We were at like 6,400 for the MACD. And it happened on the exact same day, the 25th of November back in 2020, 4 years ago. So I don't think this is a coincidence here. And that was an election year as well too. Now, one thing that's interesting is if we look at the histogram as well, when that bearish cross took place, we saw momentum shift over from bullish to bearish for a bit. And the price struggled to really break out until December right here on the left-hand side of the screen of what I'm looking at. Now, could that be where we were right here on the 3rd of December, bouncing off of this ascending support right here? And with this breakout for Bitcoin, could we see something similar to what we saw happen back here? We're leading into the 16th of December. Bitcoin kind of chops around for a little bit, holds support above this descending resistance, and then breaks out. Could we see that happen over the next week or two before Christmas? And then to see a very prosperous an explosive Christmas day? Well, let's look more into the charts here because we can see momentum shifted a little bit on the histogram right here where you see this pink candle coming in right now. So if we continuously see Bitcoin rallying up from where we're at right now to 100K and breach above 100K, simultaneously, we would need to see the MACD line cross above the signal line in orange to see a bullish cross take place. Similar to what happened back here on the 16th of December when we saw this bullish cross, we saw the momentum shift on the histogram from bearish to bullish, and we saw Bitcoin absolutely explode to the upside, where Bitcoin did almost a 30% rally and then it cooled off for about 6 days before rallying even higher. Well, if we bring up the relative strength index on the daily candles, compare it to the past, right now the RSI is below the RSI-based moving average in yellow, sitting at about 67. And looking back in 2020, the RSI was all the way down here at like 57 below the RSI-based moving average before reclaiming it for that breakout, coming all the way up to 81 and then seeing a back test of the RSI-based moving average before continuing the uptrend and getting all the way in overextended territory to 86 all the way up here. And then inevitably topping out at like 88 before we saw that major pullback for Bitcoin from $40,000+ back down to $29,000 for the RSI to then reset all the way back down here to 41 and then continue higher from there, forming a bearish divergence where then on the macro, we were seeing lower highs on the left-hand side of the screen. Whereas on the price chart, we were seeing higher highs getting put in for Bitcoin to inevitably top out above $60,000. So this was a bearish divergence. Higher highs on the price chart, lower highs on the indicator, signaling that momentum is shifting over from the bulls to the bears. As you can see, it started to lose momentum as the highs progressively got closer and closer to the previous high until this one wasn't really that far above this high right here of $61,000, and the RSI was all the way down here. So zooming in again here, what we would need to see on the right-hand side of the screen is we would need to see the RSI reclaim the RSI-based moving average in yellow right here, and then we would see, in my opinion, something similar to what happened back here between, December to January of 2021. If Bitcoin breaches above $100,000 and holds it as support, that is a massive psychological resistance. And also, if we pull up the stochastic RSI and we look for confluence here compared to the past, we can see that the K line and the D line were all the way down here at 5 when that breakout started, and we saw a bullish cross take place and confirm the bullish cross by the 14th of December when Bitcoin was right in this area right here, getting ready for this massive green candle to take Bitcoin above that high and put it all the way up at, $25,000. Now, looking on the right-hand side of the screen, you guys can see right here, the K line is at 15, the D line's at 15, and the D line is attempting to cross back above the K line. So if we see Bitcoin breach $100,000, it could be very, very similar to what happened right here during this phase, because during this whole consolidation period over the past few weeks since the 22nd of November, this has given Bitcoin's stochastic RSI enough time to reset all the way down here below 20, which is a great sign that now we are ready to push to the upside and finally breach that $100,000 target. Now Bitcoin's at $99,000. So maybe we'll see it happen in this video. Now, what does this mean for the altcoin market? Right now, the entire altcoin market, excluding Bitcoin, is sitting at $1.5 trillion. And around this same time frame, around December of 2020, we saw this choppy price action above the previous high. The altcoin market started to break out at the end of November. And as you can see right here, at the end of November, the altcoin market broke the high of the 11th of March. And so August was really the high in the last bull run, not the last bull run cycle. Well, actually, yeah, it was the last bull run cycle, right? 2020 to 2021. So we saw the altcoin market rally all the way up here to $162 billion. We saw this sell-off, bounce back up to retest the high right here, which is an ABC all the way down to a low right here. And we just simply form this ascending support, higher lows followed by higher highs until inevitably we break resistance right here. Now look on the right-hand side of the screen. We see the altcoin market rally up all the way here in March, form a high. We see this sell-off and an initial bounce to try and retest the previous high right here, followed by a continuation to a final low all the way down here, just like what we saw back here by the 6th of September of 2020. We can see some similarities all the way down here. We form ascending support. The market climbs back up, inevitably comes back to the high. And then we just saw it breach the high at the end of November, exactly like what happened back at the end of November 2020. So does that just mean we're going to go right to the moon? Well, no, because as you can see here at the end of November, when the altcoin market started to break out to $230 billion, we saw these sharp pullbacks. The volatility was insane, 26%. And then it just chopped through this range all the way until the 3rd of January. 44 days later for the altcoin to break out to the next range. And then we see the same thing happen where it just breaks out rapidly. You have no time to prepare. You just literally had to sit and wait through that choppy range while you held your positions and watch your portfolio fluctuate 10, 20, 30, even up to 40% if you're holding lower cap projects. But from $240 billion all the way up to $350 billion, then we just chopped through a new range right here while we continuously made higher highs, higher lows. Then we break out fast again real sudden, and then we just chop through a new range. And so this is how the crypto market plays out, especially with XRP that I'll be getting into in a little bit. But right now on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see we're breaking out very, very quickly from the high of the 12th, 13th of March right here, and we breached above 1.3 trillion. We made it all the way up to 1.6 trillion. So if we just keep marching up higher and higher and higher, I would expect there to be some type of sharp pullback and for us to just chop within this range. And if I measure 44 days after the breakout started, well, that leads us right to the 5th of January. So could it be that we see a final inauguration day pump and then some type of sell the news event on or after January 20th? Well, depending on how much higher total 2 goes in the short term before we see that pullback, if we zoom out here, we're still below the all-time high of $1.7 trillion. So regardless of whatever happens on the short term, when in doubt, zoom out on the macro. Look at the left-hand side of the screen on what happened when we were at this stage right here. We came up close to the all-time high and then we chopped around at it and then we made a breach past the all-time high to $1.5 trillion at the end of March. So leading into January, leading into March, I would expect something like this for the altcoin market. Massive volatility, obviously, but it's like a roller coaster. You just got to buckle up and don't try and time the tops. Don't try and time the dips because there's going to be strategic FUD events put out there in mainstream media, and that's fear, uncertainty, and doubt to try and shake you out of your positions. For example, the news about martial law that we're going to cover in a little bit, could that have been a strategic shakeout event over in South Korea to try and shake you out of your XRP? Everyone knows that over in that area of the world, that's a lot of volume for trading XRP that comes in. And when we look at the XRP, the US dollar price chart, XRP's price crashed from $2.60 all the way down to $2.27. I talked about this in my video yesterday. I said, watch this zone of resistance right here when XRP was bouncing off this support yesterday on the 3rd of December. We saw it come all the way up here. And if we didn't reclaim 60 cents and break this descending resistance to continue to the upside, we would more than likely come back down to back test this zone as support. So this is playing out right here. Now, because these massive wicks to the downside right below these candle bodies push the price back up on the candle body close to $2.40, and we didn't see a close all the way down here at $2.20, that shows me that there is very strong buy-side demand within this zone right here. And I would expect there to be a bounce for XRP, potentially to come back up now to this descending resistance. In the next zone to act as resistance that XRP would need to clear is anywhere between $2.50 to $2.41, right within this zone right here where the candle bodies, closed maybe a little bit lower, $2.42 up to $2.50. This is going to be the next zone of resistance to watch. And if XRP does not clear this zone right here and break from this descending resistance, then the more times that we get rejected and we come back down to retest this zone as support, roughly around $2.20, the weaker the support gets and the momentum shifting from the bulls to the bears increases. Now on the right-hand side of the screen, if we look back to what happened in the past for XRP, on that initial breakout, after that long, grueling consolidation phase, during like 2013, 2014, leading into 2017, we saw XRP rally very, very quick. It rallied all the way from like 0.005 all the way up to 7 cents. And then it saw this sharp sell-off, but it respected this support right here at like 0.026. You can see what happened here. This initial sell-off wicked right here at this support, and then XRP just consolidated within this range for a period of time, came one final time to wick off of this support, consolidated, bounced off of it, and then broke to the upside to come back to the previous high, cooled off between the 29th of April of 2017 until the 4th of May. So for about 5 days, and then made a new high to a new range. And then we saw the exact same thing happen all the way up here. It was just a longer consolidation period. So we're going through one of these types of consolidation periods right here, and nobody knows exactly how long it'll last for XRP and when the next break to the upside will come, but here's what we look for. We see the price rally up to a high all the way up here to 41 cents on the right-hand side of the screen. We see the first initial sell-off. It comes all the way down here to wick off of 13 cents, and we see it bounce back up and form a lower high on the price chart. Just like we saw on the left-hand side of the screen recently, the price comes all the way up here to like $2.80. We see this sell-off all the way down where it wicked at support to respect the support of the 2nd of December, just like on the left-hand side of the screen. It respected this support right here on like the 7th of May or the 8th of May, the 9th of May right here. Rebounded off of it, formed a lower high on the price chart. Rebounded off of it, formed a lower high on the price chart on the left-hand side of the screen. And then just got rejected multiple times from this descending resistance all the way back down here to this zone of support. And so I would expect this to play out somewhat similar for XRP to respect this support. Now, the real gray area here and a cautionary warning emergency that I have for you is if $2.20 breaks. If XRP does not hold the line here at $2.20, it could get very nasty, and we could come all the way back down to $1.95 to $1.85 as the next zone of support. So XRP just needs to do what it did between like May of 2017 to August of 2017, because as you can see, it just respected the support, respect the support, build a base, and then start to break out from that support, forming higher lows, coil up in this symmetrical triangle. Then inevitably everyone gets shaken out during a period like this. This is the most important thing to understand, because it takes a while during some of these consolidation periods, as you guys have seen over the past 6-7 years for XRP, let alone from 2022 to thus far before this breakout just happened, how grueling that is. Look how long this consolidation period took for XRP. From May of 2017 till December, that took 209 days. Now, no, I'm not saying it's going to take that long for XRP, because it's only been since the 2nd of December, and we're already coming back down to test this support within 2 days. So it's happening much quicker on the left-hand side of the screen than what it took to do this by July of 2017. So, you know, what took about 62 days, we're seeing happen much more accelerated for XRP. And to the degree of how large the next breakout is for Bitcoin will really determine if XRP can bounce off of this support and break this descending resistance much faster. So if we hold the support, I would expect XRP's chart to play out somewhat similar to this before we see the next leg up to the upside. And like I said, it happens really, really quick. You don't have any time to prepare. They shake you out during the long, boring, grueling consolidation period, and then they just pump in billions of dollars. And look at this candle right here. You know, it was from the 12th of December all the way until the 14th of December. Literally in 2 days, XRP rallies over 200%. You don't have time to prepare for that. You literally just accumulate any dips that you can. If you're going to leverage trade or long trade, obviously set proper stop losses. Not financial advice. These videos are purely for education, informational purposes only. I'm not going to tell you to buy or sell anything. I'm just going to bring you the news, the fundamentals, and then give you guys some technicals for what I'm seeing on the price chart. And then what you choose to do is up to you. But for example, on the right-hand side of the screen, let's say you entered, and let me just go ahead and clear the drawings for you so you can see what I'm looking at right here. But when XRP sold off all the way to about 13 cents, and we draw this horizontal box right here to act as support, we see it wick off of it right here on the 15th of July, bounce off of it right here as well too, bounce off of it right here, forming higher lows. So if you would have entered in for a long trade on XRP on the 16th of September of 2017 right here, and let's say you set your stop loss just right below where it wicked at on the 17th of July, let's say you set it at like 12 cents if you want to keep your stop loss tight. Well, as you can see, because XRP respected this support and it didn't come back down below it, you wouldn't have gotten stopped out. You could have been in this long position all the way to the high. And depending on how much leverage you were using, like if you use 3x leverage or whatever, that's another 2,000%. So on leverage, that would have been absolutely insane. Even if you like sold on the way up and closed out your leverage position like right here, you're still making a lot of money, guys. So for example, on the left-hand side of the screen, if I just clear the drawings really quick, what I'm watching here is I'm watching the support where it wicked at roughly $2.21. So if we see XRP respect this support one more time and bounce from this, I can enter into a long trade and I can set my stop loss to like $2.18 if I want to keep it really tight. I can even put it down to like maybe $2.15, $2.17. That way I'm not losing that much money. For example, if XRP just crashes overnight and comes all the way down to $1.98, you don't want to set a stop loss all the way down here, because if we see something like this play out where XRP just consolidates at this support right here and then flash crashes below your stop loss, you get stopped out, comes all the way back down here, then I would expect there to be a massive candle wick to bounce it back up to this zone right here to act as resistance again. So just be very, very careful with leverage. Again, watch the support at roughly $2.20. If that holds, then I would just expect the chart to play out like this leading into Christmas time. Now, if you guys want more technical analysis from our research team and what they're seeing happen in the markets, you can join over 676 other members inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link in the description below. And all you do is you click on the classroom at the top. You can go through every single module that we have, attend the live calls, go through the live call recordings as well too. We do calls every single week where our research team breaks down the markets in detail and talks about other blockchains as well too, where there are other opportunities. If you missed that pump for XRP and you didn't get in when we were making videos around 50 to 60 cents, there are other projects that are on the verge of a breakout right now. For example, in the community section right here, I made this post right here 3 days ago talking about the BNB chart compared to Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin right here breaking out of the long consolidation period, and then we look at the BNB chart, you can see BNB was forming higher lows, higher highs, right at the previous high, was due for a breakout at $651. After 8 months of consolidation between $460 to $700, I said it looks like BNB is primed to rally. And look at the BNB chart. Boom, we just saw it break out over 26%, literally right after that was posted. So if you would have been in Altcoin Pro University, you could have caught that trade right when it was posted. Now, if you missed this post, that's fine. There's plenty of other opportunities. What you need to do right now is click the link in the description below and get started right now. It's only $97 a month or $970 a year. This price is going to go up to $197 per month by January 1st. So if you lock in now, you guys are getting grandfathered in at this price right here. And if you upgrade to annual, you're saving $194 per year, basically getting 2 months for free, and you unlock exclusive bonuses right here, like the 2-hour portfolio deliberation trainings on how to construct a successful portfolio coin by coin, crypto tax mastery course, so you can be ready for taxes coming up by the end of this year. By far the most important thing, because most channels will talk about how to make money, different altcoin picks, but virtually none of them talk about how to keep it. And we have 13 training videos from our certified tax CPA and tax planners that are professionals. You know, I'm not giving tax advice here, but we have professionals that do. So our vision is to set the gold standard in crypto education. And by the end of the month, we want to have over 1,000 people that we're helping set their portfolio up for life for the rest of this bull run. So we're at 679. We have a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If after 29 days you're unhappy for whatever reason, we'll refund your full $97 or $970 because you're on no contract. We have the best research team in the world that is giving you guys the top-notch alpha. For example, our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, first, before we ever make videos about them, so click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside. Now, despite some speculations, RLUSD, Ripple's stablecoin, isn't launching today. They're in locksteps with the New York Department of Financial Services on the final approval, and we'll share updates as soon as possible. So make sure you subscribe to the channel to get those updates. They said they are fully committed to launching under the supervision of the NYDFS and upholding the highest regulatory standards. So eventually their stablecoin will launch, and we'll see that news hit the market. We'll be covering it for you guys on the channel. And on top of that, with Trump naming the new crypto champion Paul Atkins to lead the SEC as the chair, Donald Trump just said he is a proven leader for common sense regulations, because Gary Gensler had no common sense, because common sense isn't so common anymore. He believes in the promise of robust, innovative capital markets that are responsive to the needs of investors and that provide capital to make our economy the best in the world. He also recognizes that digital assets and other innovations are crucial to making America greater than ever before. Now, I just love what Congressman Tom Emmer said in this video right here that you guys heard at the start of this video. He just despises Gary Gensler. Listen to this.
Many of us are counting down to January 20th because it marks President Trump's triumphant return to the White House. But I'm also counting down because it's the day that SEC Chairman Gary Gensler will finally meet the American people's demands and resign. Chairman Gensler's tenure at the SEC has been marred by regulatory hypocrisy, crippling American competitiveness. His approach to our capital markets was lawless, self-interested, and objectively destructive. He's been an incompetent cop on the beat, pushing American firms into the hands of the Chinese Communist Party, and will undoubtedly go down as the worst SEC chair in the history of this country. Under his leadership, the SEC abandoned its core mission to protect the opportunities of every American who wants to participate in the greatest capital markets in the world. He wasted a large part of the SEC's resources to wage war on the crypto industry, a strategy that has proven unsuccessful for him as the SEC continues to lose again and again in the courts. Corruption under Gary Gensler ran so deep that a federal judge took the unprecedented step of imposing sanctions on the SEC for misrepresenting key facts in the debt box case, ultimately costing taxpayers $2 million in legal fees. In 47 days, America will no longer be embarrassed by the mockery Chairman Gensler has made of the SEC. President Trump will fulfill his mandate for change. With our first pro-crypto commander-in-chief, the SEC will work for the American people again, not against them. A new day is coming, and I look forward to working with President Trump and his new SEC chair to deliver on our America First agenda for the digital asset community. With that, I turn it over to the Raging Cajun, our leader, Steve Scalise.
Now, this is absolutely crazy how all of this is happening at the same time as South Korea's emergency statement comes out. And if we look at this sign right here, why didn't we realize this until now? According to Yo no Fukukuka, I don't know how you say that name, but it says shelter right here. And you see green, purple, and yellow triangles above this little house right here. Now, what's interesting is there was a "So It Begins" post that was made circling around the Ripple Riddler community right here with a green, purple, and yellow mountain. So could this be coincidental here, or is this all strategically planned to shake out XRP holders before the real adoption begins? Look at this. This was posted by Mason right here. South Korea declaring martial law after political strife. Their president initiated this emergency right here where all political activities and strikes are banned, media to be controlled. Moon says martial law is necessary because of political deadlock. The Korean won fell to its weakest against the dollar since 2009. And then Korea pledges, most important part, unlimited liquidity to support the markets. So unlimited liquidity, lock them all indoors, pump out unlimited liquidity, let everyone buy up XRP. But first they had to shake everybody out to get some dips here. But here's where it gets interesting right here. In one of my previous videos, I covered this account right here, Bearable Guy 123. Every single year, he makes this post right here the night before Christmas, December 24th. Actually, this was in the afternoon. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to you all. Very interesting times are coming. Now, what's interesting right here is you see the bear in front of a fireplace right here, and you see a green, purple, and yellow stockings. Now, I covered this in previous videos where what this is based on is TCRB exploding in the Corona Borealis. The night is Brad Garlinghouse in a rocket ship heading to the moon. We can see the Ripple logo right here, which is the Trident logo on what could be the judge's gavel. It says XRP baby right here, a little heart on March 13th, whatever that means. But what's interesting right here is if we look on his Twitter page and we look at this post right here that was posted December 24th, 2022, look at the painting on the back wall from one of the previous posts he made. Very interesting how there's a green, a purple, and yellow sails, signifying that the dark days are over with the storm in the past and the sun, blue skies are ahead, while the night, Brad Garlinghouse, is signaling onwards. I don't think this is a coincidence, guys. I think there is some sort of Freemasonry or some insider behind this account right here that nobody knows that is posting these things as riddles. Now, also interesting enough, if you look at the bells, the same color are on the bells, green, yellow, and purple. So I don't believe in coincidences. The shelter logo right here, green, yellow, and purple mountains. So it begins. What is Donald Trump about to do with XRP, with Elon Musk, with the head of the SEC chair, dropping the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit? And how will that affect the price of XRP? Well, listen to this clip right here from Jerome Powell talking about Bitcoin and its real competitor.
People use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold. That's really how I think of it.
So what are your guys' thoughts on that? I don't think Bitcoin's going to replace gold. Obviously, gold's been around for thousands of years. They're just going to grow in tandem with each other as the Fed and the Treasury keep printing more money. What's interesting to note here is just look at the XRP price chart of what happened in November around the same time as now that the price started to break out. We saw these massive green candles push XRP's price all the way upwards of 78, 79 cents right here. And then we saw XRP consolidate just like it's doing right now, respecting this zone of support. But at the end of December was exactly when Jay Clayton filed the lawsuit and XRP's price plummeted. So will this time be different? And will XRP be able to hold the support at roughly $2.20 and see a continuation to the upside, melting faces for an explosive rally this bull run? Or will XRP's price continue to be suppressed? And will we see a catastrophic sell-off to the downside? Well, regardless of whatever happens, we're going to help you guys have the strongest diversification strategy. So make sure that you are plugged into Altcoin Pro University through the link below. Join over 670 other members that are just like you. Watch this 26-minute video right now that covers everything that you need to know, because what's coming next in the markets is not what you think. And we're here to help you prepare for any scenario that hits, so that way you can be able to preserve your wealth, scale your income as we back up our truck all the way to the bank, grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over time. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top. I'll see you guys in the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com through the link below. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.
Hey bull runners, this is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and Mastercard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners? So if you own a business, or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or Mastercard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated $1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over $7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th, 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.